Tonight, stuck inside.
So I'm basically stuck in my house until whoever, whether it be the city or the region, figures out how they can get this done.
And seeking more snow clearing.
It's not right at all.
The state of streets and sidewalks under continued scrutiny. Plus, when the frustration turns ugly.
So we'll have people, run out of their house, swear at operators in the middle of the night, throw things at them.
How snow clearing has also become a lightning rod for misinformation and abusive attacks. Staying a step ahead of scammers.
You're like a one-stop shop for verifying a contractor before they come to your door.
The locally invented tech tool that aims to keep handiwork honest. Good evening. We begin with another story involving the state of streets and sidewalks during one of the snowiest winters on record. A Cambridge man who uses a power chair says he's been stuck inside his home for almost a month due to what he says is a lack of proper snow clearing. CTV's Alexandra Hollick is live with more. And Alexandra, you had a chance to speak with Sean Haas earlier today. What did he tell you?
Tony, Sean says he feels isolated, helpless, and like a prisoner in his own home. And while this last month has been lonely for him, he knows he's not alone. Sean Haas says he hasn't left his Cambridge home in nearly a month.
I've been out once this year.
That was on January 9th, when he went to pick up a cake for his wife's birthday.
It was all snow covered, and so I'm reaching over trying to hit the button because I can't get close enough. I spin on it almost a couple times. I spun because there's just too much stuff there. Almost dropped the cake.
While Haas made it home safely, he says the treacherous conditions on streets and sidewalks have forced him to put his life on pause, resulting in missed medical appointments and social gatherings.
I'm basically stuck in my house until whoever, whether it be the city or the region, figures out how they can get this done.
In the meantime, Haas says the situation has taken a toll on his mental health.
It's making me feel like I'm in my own prison, or my house has become my prison, because I can't get out.
And while it can get lonely, Haas isn't alone.
It really becomes hard in the winter because every time you turn around, you find a barrier with snow removal.
Devin Sizak is the founder of Barrier Free Cambridge, and his 13-year-old son Holden uses a wheelchair. Sizak says a lack of snow clearing sends a clear sign to those with mobility issues.
The message that's sent by Unclear Pass is really that their presence there is kind of optional.
The city of Cambridge is responsible for clearing the sidewalk on Cedar Street, but it says contractors are in charge of the crosswalk. We became aware of issues with the winter maintenance at this particular crossing in January and have addressed it with the contractor, the city's director of operations says in a statement to CTV News. While primary winter maintenance on sidewalks do happen within the 36-hour timeline of a snowfall, there may still be some windrows between roads, sidewalks, and crosswalks that will be a challenge to navigate. As for Haas, he says he hopes his plea helps get him and others out the door.
It's not just me talking about me. Almost anybody has to walk through, 8 inches, 9 inches of snow with ice underneath it, that the city's not doing what they're supposed to do. It's not right at all.
The city also says it's working on solutions with staff and its contractors to reduce some of the challenges faced by Haas and others across Cambridge. Haas says he's reached out to the city and elected officials in his neighborhood, but he hasn't heard back. Tony.
Okay, Alexandra, thank you. CTV's Alexandra Hollick reporting. And let's get a first check on the weather as we head over to Ashley Bacon in studio now on a day where, well, that sun was trying its best, and I did see it a little bit, but was kind of short-lived today.
It was. We saw it mostly at sunset, believe it or not, Tony. It did try to make some appearances throughout the day, but it was a lot cloudier today than we experienced all week. The good news is we're going to see sun again soon. The bad news is before we get to it, we've got some wintry weather. But before we talk about what's happening, let's take a look at this video. We've got some fantastic footage here from Cambridge, a resident building this incredible snow castle with all of that snow that fell fall in January. Obviously, this masterpiece really took a lot of snow to create. What a creative way to spend your time in winter. I mean, kudos to you. That looks incredible. Just wanted to share that with our viewers tonight. All right, let's take a look now at our radar for this afternoon. You can see there is not a lot going on in southwestern Ontario in regards to a band of precipitation at this hour. We are expecting a new band of precipitation to start to move into play around midnight tonight. But right now in Waterloo region, we're sitting at -8. Well, south winds at 17 kilometers an hour, but feeling a little bit cooler than that already, -15 with the wind chill. Now that is pretty much as cold as it's expected to feel overnight. And with that flurry activity also moving into the region, we're going to have to wait to see just how much snowfall we'll receive throughout Friday. Tony.
Ashley, thank you. We'll get those details from you shortly. They are sworn to serve and protect, but tonight 7 Toronto police officers are facing charges in connection with a corruption probe allegedly involving organized crime. The allegations are part of a complex conspiracy involving the attempted murder of a senior correctional officer. CTV's John Musselman reports.
Person in front of them just wandering down the middle of the road. Cars coming up behind.
This is police video of just one incident.
Those are our vehicles. Let's take them down right now. Contain.
That highlights the devastating allegations filed against 7 Toronto police officers and 1 retired officer.
Over the grass into a car.
Investigators allege 3 masked men attempted to murder an Ontario corrections manager at his home in York Region in June. The suspects were allegedly leaked personal information by Toronto Police Constable Timothy Barnhart.
We allege that this officer then released the information to a Mr. Brian DaCosta, and from there it was released further into other criminal networks.
The allegations against the Toronto officers include bribery, obstruction of justice, drug trafficking, theft of personal property, breach of trust, and the unauthorized access of confidential information. The information was handed over to organized criminal figures. It led to shootings in the GTA and in southern Ontario. At least 1 shooting is connected to the gun violence plaguing the tow truck industry.
This news is both shocking and completely unacceptable. Corruption has no place in policing.
Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkew calls it a painful moment for the force, and he has asked the Inspector General of Policing to investigate.
This is a painful and unsettling moment. It needs to be addressed openly, and it needs to be addressed honestly. The allegations against 7 Toronto police members and 1 retired member are deeply disappointing.
Clayton Campbell is the president of the Toronto Police Association.
If proven true, our members do not tolerate this sort of stuff. We are so indebted to the public for trust. If we don't have public trust, we have nothing.
The allegations also include officers accepting bribes to obstruct police action against illegal activity. At least 19 other civilians have been charged in connection with this investigation. Chief Demkew says he is committed to holding the accused officers accountable, and he says the Toronto Police Services Board has not asked for his resignation, considering these findings came under his leadership.
More than 400 officers took part in these internal investigations that led to these charges, and police say this investigation is ongoing. John Musselman, CTV News in York Region.
And the charges have sent shockwaves through the policing community. Some experts say it potentially points to a growing problem with organized crime in this country. With more on that part of the story, here's CTV's John Venevali-Rao.
For police, not just in Toronto, but across the country, the allegations came as a huge disappointment.
We're talking a corruption level here that's it's on the edge of a blockbuster movie that would be made up to follow with The Godfather, if you will.
Some experts say it could be the biggest investigation of police corruption ever, not just in Toronto, but in Canadian history, eclipsing the 5 former Toronto drug squad officers found guilty more than a decade ago of attempting to obstruct justice, with some wondering if it points to a potentially wider culture problem within Toronto's force.
I think it may be more of a greed issue. These people were, there are charges with respect to accepting bribes. Was that the motivation behind all this? I don't know. We'll have to find out at trial.
The case may also point to a growing crisis with organized crime. It was in part connected to a tow truck turf war in Toronto that led to a slew of shootings and arsons.
The allegations that organized crime is influencing police is really, quite unprecedented in my experience.
It's been estimated more than 4,000 organized crime groups are currently operating in Canada. And some think today's announcement should serve as a wake-up call.
I think it shows that their tentacles are a lot longer than most people suspect.
Still, others say police corruption is very rare and worry the reputation of officers everywhere is being hurt.
No, I just hope that the public focuses on all the good and doesn't let these few bad apples ultimately destroy the image of policing in this country. We're way bigger and better than that.
Meanwhile, some are already suggesting that a public inquiry may ultimately be necessary. John Benavelli-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, today marks 45 years since Toronto's bathhouse raids, where nearly 300 men were arrested by police in coordinated raids targeting the gay community. CTV's Allison Hurst has more on how the city marked this milestone.
The rainbow flags proudly displayed along Church Street were not there 45 years ago today during the bathhouse raids.
It was wrong. It was shameful. And we remember.
Police raided 4 bathhouses February 5th, 1981, arresting nearly 300 men. Alison Bain, the executive director with Heritage Toronto, took to the streets.
It was scary. The lesbians were trying to form a barrier between the very angry gay men and the perpetually angry police force.
The raid, dubbed Operation Soap, galvanized Toronto's LGBTQ2S+ community and is going to be commemorated.
The plaque we're announcing today will ensure the bathhouse raids and its lessons are not forgotten.
Organizing protests and demonstrations followed, with much of the planning taking place at the 519.
The 519 hosted countless organizing meetings and fundraisers that supported queer liberation.
It took a few hours for that shock to settle in and then for people to get really activated, but beginning the next day, the phone calls were, we've got to organize, we got to get together. And so small groups of people started planning how to respond.
About 20 years after the bathhouse raids, Reverend Brent Hawkes presided over Canada's first legally recognized gay marriage wearing a bulletproof vest.
It was just not that many years ago in Toronto. And so sometimes we forget that there are vulnerable groups in every society that can be targeted. And we always, as much as we'd like to think that we're a progressive city, an open city, we still have to ask ourselves the question, who's vulnerable now?
Many acknowledge while there's been progress, there's still work to be done.
When we see the hatred that's now being directed towards the trans community, the bathhouse raids are every bit as relevant as when it happened.
Unless we change that corporate culture, there's not going to be a real awakening within the police force.
The plaque will be installed during Pride Month in June. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
And a reminder to start your day in the know with the CTV Kitchener newsletter. Local content from our newsroom right to your inbox, including a look at the top stories, the latest weather forecast, and some must-see videos. You can sign up for this daily newsletter over at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Keeping contractors in check. Coming up later, CTV's Spencer Turcott tells us about a locally developed platform aiming to help people avoid bad business practices and pricey pitfalls.
More wintry weather is on the way. Just how much snow is expected and what your Super Bowl Sunday will look like coming up in your full weather forecast a little later in the show.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
The city of Cambridge is looking to turn down the temperature on public discourse that they say is getting worse and becoming abusive towards city staff. CTV's Jeff Pickle spoke with the city's new general manager, who says the anger often starts with social media misinformation.
The city of Cambridge says it's time for change.
So we're seeing definitely an increase in online disinformation and misinformation.
According to City General Manager Rob Axiak, they've noticed an increase in misinformation online, leading to aggressive and abusive treatment of staff. This winter, snow plowing has been a lightning rod.
So we'll have people, run out of their house, swear at operators in the middle of the night, throw things at them. There's pretty concerning or harassing type behaviors that are coming out as a result.
The city's AI-generated winter campaign, another flashpoint.
We tried to be a bit creative, tried to have some fun with AI online related to our snow clearing to get, the public a little bit lighter, we're doing our best in terms of snow removal.
Axiak says online rumors spread about the cost of the campaign, leading to online and verbal abuse of staff.
So that couldn't be further from the truth. What we did took a staff person 10 minutes to produce on a free online platform. So it doesn't cost the taxpayer tens of thousands of dollars.
By calling this behavior out, Axiak hopes they can begin a healthier dialogue.
Many municipalities are facing what we're facing. What we're trying to do is a bit different here, is to call it out and say we're not tolerating it. We are also human beings, and we deserve respect as well. And we are good public servants.
Axiak says the next step will include creating more effective strategies to combat misinformation and better avenues for tough conversations. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Cambridge.
A southern Ontario hospital is leading the province in opioid overdose harm reduction. CTV's Scott Miller has more on how one of the least populated areas of Ontario is tackling and beating such a big problem.
Fewer people are overdosing and dying from drug overdoses in Grey Bruce than last year. A lot fewer.
I was surprised at the level of drop, the significance, the size of the drop. I knew we were doing good work.
The number of opioid overdoses in Grey Bruce fell 61% last year, from 215 in 2024 to just 83 last year. Opioid-related deaths fell 77%. Now, Grey County led the way, with overdoses falling from 184 in 2024 to just 72 last year. Bruce County saw overdoses drop from 32 to 11. It's a precipitous drop caused by many factors, believes Dobbin. First, a recognition that Grey Bruce had a problem, and then quick action and collaboration across agencies to directly tackle the problem on the ground.
There's been a huge effort to make sure naloxone is available without too many barriers to that harm reduction supplies are there, that drug testing is happening so people understand what they're taking and what the impact is. Lots of conversations about use less, go slow, don't use alone.
Dobbins says Grey Bruce's SOS program, or Supportive Outreach Services, which started in 2022 and provides mobile clinics for addiction and mental health patients featuring a nurse practitioner, a mental health counselor, a paramedic, and social program navigator, was a big first step. But the big change happened in 2024 when the Bright Shores Wellness and Recovery Center opened in Owen Sound. The Recovery Center has seen 2,300 clients since opening just a year and a half ago.
When somebody is ready to have that conversation and says, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, that we can go, okay, in, maybe an hour, we can get you somewhere versus here's a 6-month wait list.
Dobbin says Grey Bruce's opioid strategy isn't cheap, costing multiple millions of dollars, but it is working, and it is being pursued as an option by other communities across the province.
We get called in to present across both the province and potentially across the nation to say this is what we're doing in little old Grey Bruce, and this is what we can do. Imagine what you could do.
In Grey Bruce, Scott Miller, CTV News.
A new study looking at Ontario residents finds rates of psychosis are increasing in recent generations. CTV's health reporter Pauline Chan has the details and a look at the implications.
The study looked at more than 12 million people born in Ontario between 1960 and 2009, of whom 152,587 were diagnosed with a psychotic disorder like schizophrenia.
Auditory or visual hallucination, seeing or hearing things that aren't there. People can also have intense paranoia So they might think that people are out to get them.
The findings?
More recent birth cohorts seem to be experiencing an earlier age of diagnosis of psychosis and schizophrenia, and actually cumulatively more of it.
And Dr. Daniel Myron says the increase is striking.
What proportion of the generation or the birth cohort has been diagnosed with schizophrenia by age 30? And that's up almost 40%.
Some of the reasons behind this? Myron says the age of birth parents is rising, and that's known to be an increased risk factor for psychosis.
There's been a large rise in opioids and synthetic stimulants like methamphetamines and cannabis and the potency of cannabis, and more recently, interest in hallucinogens.
And increasing urban populations.
People living in more urban centers or more dense places, and for reasons that are not fully understood, seem to have a higher rate of psychotic disorders.
Psychotic disorders are relatively rare, affecting about 2% of the population, but the impact is wide-reaching.
People who have a chronic psychotic disorder have a reduced life expectancy. They have profound implications for their social interactions, for their work.
And patients require frequent, regular contact with the healthcare system.
And, that's compounded on a mental health system in Canada that generally is, under-resourced.
The good thing, says Myron, is that early diagnosis is improving, and in Ontario, the growth of early intervention programs for psychosis has led to some 50 clinics in the province, adding that further research is needed. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
A new poll suggests Canadians feel the healthcare system has deteriorated over the last decade as they increasingly struggle to access family doctors and see specialists. The Angus Reid survey compares the results of more than 4,000 respondents from this year to a survey that was conducted in 2015. The latest results show half of respondents reported either not having a family doctor or struggling to see the one they do have. That marks a 25% increase in difficulty accessing a family doctor since 2015. Well, here's a live look outside as we take a look in the Waterloo area. I believe we are looking at the Perimeter Institute right now. Our photographer Dave Pettit is out getting us some beautiful shots of, well, we can almost see the afterglow of that sunset hanging on. A couple of moments ago in the live shot, we were still getting a bit of twilight. So it's nice to see that daylight is finally stretching a little bit later. Ashley's here to tell us what tomorrow and the weekend are looking like weather-wise in a few moments. Also ahead, the slow go back toward full service. 4 days after a derailment along the Kitchener line, the GO Transit system still running on reduced schedules. But next, a Conservative MP's solo trade mission to Washington. What was that all about? That's next. Okay, Ashley's back, and we did have a kind of a gut feeling that there would be some sort of weather advisories coming out today, and true to form, we've got them beginning to roll out now.
Just a couple of minutes ago, Environment Canada issuing a blowing snow advisory, which we'll get to in just a moment. But first, let's take a beautiful look back outside at Waterloo Park this hour.
Ooh, you can just almost see the twilight in the background still. Isn't that nice?
Well, you know what? Get out and enjoy that twilight and get to see some stars. There's a bit of cloud cover out there at the moment, but we're in for a little bit of a wintry mix tomorrow. We're going to see a little bit of snowfall back in the region, but the good news is we're not expecting a large accumulation. Environment Canada issuing this blowing snow advisory just a few minutes ago. Between 4 and 8 centimeters is expected. There's a little outline here around London where you might get slightly more accumulation, around 15 centimeters in some coastline areas, but for the most part, between 4 and 8 centimeters is expected, accompanied, however, with very strong winds, 70 to 80 kilometers an hour. And with that wind, the blowing snow happens, creating low visibility or no visibility in some areas. So if you are headed out on the roads throughout Friday, make sure you take your time. This is the band of precipitation. It's starting to make its way into our region now. It will make its full way through overnight and will basically linger throughout much of Friday, but merely wrapping up by right about 10 p.m. Friday night. We will still see some patches, but essentially out of the woods by Friday night. Right now, however, on the west coast, Vancouver is sitting at a very comfortable 11 degrees, 14 and sunny in Calgary. That's a spring day if I've ever seen one. 4 in Saskatoon and Regina, minus 16, however, in Thompson. In our nation's capital, it's minus 13 with a bit of cloud cover. In St. John's, cloud cover and minus 4. Closer to home here, it's sitting at minus 9, so it is starting to feel quite chilly out there, minus 16 with the wind chill. Those temperatures aren't going to improve much overnight. We're looking at an overnight low of minus 10, feeling closer to that minus 15 throughout the night. And then tomorrow, temperatures will rebound to about a minus 4. So that is very close to our normal for this time of year. We're finally getting a little bit of a break in that regards. Okay, looking at our 7-day forecast starting in Waterloo region. Sunny conditions for your Saturday, but take a look at those temperatures. We're in for another cold weekend. Sunday, your Super Bowl Sunday. Minus 10, mix of sun and cloud. Monday, flurries may make a return. But look, by Tuesday, Tony, we might even reach that coveted 0 mark. Lambton, Kent, Essex, similar conditions there. You're expected to see some snow Friday, but with temperatures rebounding to 1 degree, overnight taking a nosedive to minus 17. Sun returning Saturday, and for your Super Bowl Sunday, cloudy and a high of minus 7, with the mix of sun and cloud returning for the start of your work week. And in southern Georgian Bay, 2 to 4 centimeters is expected for your Friday, a high of minus 2, with a dip in temperature by Friday night. Minus 21 is the expected low. Very cold conditions for your Saturday, just reaching minus 15 as a high. Sunday, minus 8, and then flurries back in the picture on Monday, but above seasonal temperatures by Tuesday.
I was just going to say before we move on, love the graphic on Sunday.
Oh, thank you.
With a cloudy day or a slight chance of flurries, that's really the only graphic we need to see on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I figured most people will want to know what their Super Bowl lineup looks like.
Not everyone agrees, but I appreciate it.
You're welcome. It was just for you, Tony.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a look at today's Weather Watcher picture. This was sent in from Peter in Guelph. He said he snapped it during a morning hike earlier this week. And again, I just love these picturesque wintry scenes.
Now that speaks to those gorgeous mornings you were
Yes,
talking about.
absolutely.
And I know you are an early riser, and a lot of people we work with are early risers, and it's nice to see that there are beautiful scenes to be found in this harsh winter.
You got to start your day off right.
You just got to get up at the right time.
That's also helpful.
That's right. Thanks, Ash.
Thanks, Tony.
Well, the Prime Minister has unveiled a new national auto strategy. It includes an end to the electric vehicle mandate, but the return of EV rebates. The new roadmap has 2 driving factors, ensuring Canada becomes less reliant on the U.S. and on gas-powered vehicles. CTV's Rachel Aiello reports.
A national auto strategy for the next generation. Today, the government unveiled a 5-pillar and multi-billion-dollar plan to protect jobs and reward companies making vehicles in Canada.
The future of the auto industry is increasingly electric and connected. And so to remain competitive and to realize our potential, we must develop the entire value chain for next-generation vehicles.
To help Canadians afford them, starting February 16th, consumers who purchase electric vehicles will be eligible for a new rebate. The government is offering purchase or lease incentives of up to $5,000 for fully electric vehicles and up to $2,500 for plug-in hybrid models. There will be no price cap on Canadian-made cars, and only models coming from countries Canada has a free trade deal with will qualify if they cost less than $50,000. That means the rebate won't apply to Chinese EVs.
Today's announcement will directly support workers here in Ontario and across Canada.
Carney is also replacing the contentious EV sales mandate with new emission standards for future models, easing some of the pressure automakers are under.
This puts us on a path to greater electrification while giving industry the flexibility it needs during a very difficult time for the economy and for the sector.
Hopefully we can get to a point where we continue to be tariff-free.
And car dealers say they're ready to stock up.
It's certainly encouraging that we'll be able to pass on some savings directly to the consumer, especially in a time of higher prices on really everything.
Beyond affordability, this country's lacking EV infrastructure remains a barrier to Canadians pulling the plug on gas-powered vehicles. And so today, Carney also promised $1.5 billion to build up this country's roadside charging network. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
And questions are being asked today about who Conservative MP Jamil Jivani chatted with in Washington on his solo mission to the U.S. Capitol, and whether it was helpful in any way. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more on the meetings and the message he came back with.
Proof is in the pudding. The freestyle approach, I don't think serves us as a country.
Liberal cabinet ministers clearly skeptical that Conservative Jamil Jivani is making any progress on Canada-U.S. relations. That's despite a social media post from the Toronto area MP saying he had productive meetings with the White House and State Department, adding, "The president asked me to pass along a message. Tell Canadians I love them."
I'm here in Washington, D.C., where I've been having some very productive, promising, and positive conversations.
It's unclear if Jivani met with President Donald Trump or his longtime friend, Vice President J.D. Vance.
No matter if it's a governor, a senator, or congresspeople, or part of the administration, I think we have to continue on with the pressure. So the more people that can get down there and have a conversation, all the power to you.
It can only serve to undermine the efforts overall on behalf of the people of Canada.
This former advisor to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Canada-U.S. relations is concerned about Jivani's visit, and she says he needs to debrief when he returns.
We will need to make sure that ideally Mr. Jivani is feeding back some of the limited information that perhaps he has procured from his conversations with Americans back to our embassy in Washington, back to other key representatives.
It comes as former Prime Minister Stephen Harper is in Ottawa preaching a stronger stance in dealing with the U.S.
We cannot allow the obvious attempt to move Canadian manufacturing south of the border. One-way tariffs introduced by the U.S. must be reciprocated.
Well, Canada had removed a number of counter tariffs on the U.S. during the summer. Asked about Harper's suggestion, the finance minister said he thinks Canada has been playing its cards very well. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Is artificial intelligence always leading to the real deal at the grocery store? Coming up, a price check on the use of AI to navigate savings in these tough economic times. It's been another day of disruptions and changes for GO Transit service between Kitchener and Toronto in the wake of Monday's derailment outside Union Station. While track repairs outside Union took a few days, Metrolinx indicated it also had to carry out significant work to get the train signaling system back up to full service. And so that has meant reduced schedules all week. The transit agency tells CTV News GO trains are operating on a similar special schedule again tomorrow, but they are on track to try to get full service back in place by Saturday. Canadians lose hundreds of millions of dollars every year to contractor scams. Cambridge entrepreneur has created an online platform aimed at helping homeowners find pre-vetted contractors and avoid getting scammed. CTV's Spencer Turcott reports.
It's a consumer protection program, and everything comes back from our proprietary vetting tech.
21-year-old Alex Kimmich from Cambridge noticed a concerning trend while speaking with potential clients when he worked as a carpenter.
They'd be so reserved and so shut off, and they feared being ripped off by a contractor.
It prompted Kimmich to change his career path. He had a new goal in mind: get people to regain faith in the system. So he created BetterBid.
BetterBid is a platform that gives peace of mind to homeowners before they hire a contractor, like a one-stop shop for verifying a contractor before they come to your door.
Here's how it works. Using artificial intelligence, the platform assigns a score to potential contractors across Canada by examining a number of things.
We verify proof of business, trade certificates, insurance, and we do a full background check that runs every single mention of them online.
Clients can then see how trusted the contractor they're inquiring about is. Alternatively, you can tell the platform the job you want done, and it will give you the 3 best quotes. The site is beneficial for contractors too.
Contractors can go on and get their identity verified and show the public that I'm a good contractor.
In turn, BetterBid takes a small fee from contractors for each job they get through the platform.
40% of the people that apply do not get accepted.
It's a platform that Anjali Arnold says could have protected her from being scammed in 2020.
It feels like a prayer answered.
Arnold operates an online group called Defrauded by Builder Contractor for others like her who have been scammed by a contractor.
He said, we usually take 50% down payment for materials. And so our contract, I think, came in at around $48,000, $50,000. So he took a check for $25,000.
Shortly after work began on her home in Prince Edward County, the workers stopped showing up. She says the contractor admitted to using the down payment for other projects and could not pay her back.
He still owes us everything, including taxes and interest and accruing overtime.
So when Kimmich heard her story, he reached out to Arnold and asked her to upload all the legal documents in the case to BetterBid so the platform could learn from this and steer others away from becoming a victim.
I'm not involved with this project in any way there, but it's really exceptional.
Jordan Uhoff is a paralegal who has used BetterBid while helping his own clients, adding one of the most difficult things with fraud is proving intent. BetterBid, he says, helps do that.
It ultimately allows the individual, whether it be law enforcement, a landlord, or any individual, to find the history to see how many times that has been done to others. And that is an essential element you need to prove fraud in the court system.
And as BetterBid continues to learn with each entry and dispute, Kimmich hopes to one day see law enforcement use the platform to help put an end to these scams. Spencer Turcott, CTV News Kitchener.
Recapping our top stories now, Leanne Evans in studio with us for all the details. And we've been looking at the story of a Cambridge man who says he's been stuck inside his home for quite a while, all because of the snow clearing issues.
Yeah, Sean Haas uses a power chair to get around, but he says he's only left his house once in more than a month. He's missed critical medical appointments and community events because his wheelchair can't make it onto the uncleared pathways. Haas says that's taken a toll on his mental health. The city says it's working on solutions with staff and its contractors to reduce some of the challenges faced by Haas and others across Cambridge. 7 Toronto police officers and 1 retired officer have been charged after a 7-month investigation into organized crime and corruption. An investigation began in June of 2025 after police uncovered a conspiracy to murder an Ontario corrections officer at a home in York Region. It's alleged that a Toronto police officer leaked information about the potential shooting victim to a key figure in a criminal network operating in the GTA.
And we love to bring people good news stories as well, and our digital team has one, certainly a good news story involving a Cambridge man this week, Leanne.
Yeah, we had to throw a good story in here, Tony, to cap things off today. This man is now $100,000 richer. Thomas Lawler Ryan won the prize with Encore after matching the last 6 of 7 numbers in the correct order. He says he can't believe his luck and is planning a trip to Mexico with his winnings. You can read the full story on our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca, or scan the QR code there in the bottom corner of your screen. I'd like to go to Mexico with $100,000 myself.
Well, you know what? Congratulations to Thomas. You know, it reminds me, every time they ask me, do you want to spend the extra $1 to get Encore? I always go, meh, no.
You might want to next time.
Thomas said yes, and now he's going to Mexico.
Exactly. And think of what you could do with that.
That's a pretty good deal for a $1 draw. Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you.
Amid the rising cost of food, some shoppers have been increasingly using AI to find deals at grocery stores, but there are potential risks. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has more on what customers should be on the lookout for.
For some savvy shoppers, when they see what looks like a bargain for groceries, their cautious attitude is buyer beware.
But I do not trust it.
Sylvain Charlebois says that's a smart approach, especially at a time when targeted ads on social media produced by AI are offering potentially misleading ads that promote lower prices for groceries.
They'll build algorithms that they'll use to service you, to know you, and to set proper prices depending of your buying behavior.
For example, if a shopper frequently buys eggs, they may see online prices promoting what looks like a good deal. but is not, and that could lead to paying more at the register.
When you're connecting pricing with consumers and using AI to increase profits and margins, I think there's a really wide line there.
There is an AI upside. Customers can compare prices at other stores while they shop.
It puts a lot of power directly in their hands.
So they can know for sure they're getting a fair shake.
I find I don't know if I'm getting the true thing or not.
Technology analyst Carmi Levy says shoppers can even consult with a virtual online AI agent before they make a purchase.
Who else is selling it in their area? For how much? What have the trends looked like?
Those trends through AI could allow consumers to make more informed, precise buying decisions to help them save more money. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News.
Next, a bumpy start even before tomorrow's opening ceremony at the Winter Games. Setbacks already in the quest for medals. We will check in with CTV's Heather Butts in Milan for those details next. Setbacks already for some members of Team Canada gearing up to chase gold at the Winter Olympics in Milan. Today's women's hockey game was postponed. Other events will go ahead, but without some star athletes. The bumpy start comes one day before the opening ceremony. CTV's Heather Butts is in Milan.
An alarming image of Mark McMorris following a crash yesterday in training. The 32-year-old three-time Olympic medalist confirming he hit his head and will not compete in the big air competition. In a statement, McMorris said, "Fortunately, things are looking good for slopestyle, so I'm staying positive and shifting my focus there." Snowboarder Tess Critchlow has already had to withdraw due to injury, and Canada has had to swap out athletes in men's hockey and figure skating in the team event because of injury.
For those who've been injured and unable to compete, I feel for them first and foremost, and therefore give them as much support to see if they can compete in the case of those where it's questionable.
Facing these early obstacles, there's also questions over how the Olympic team is preparing to handle competing against the Americans at a time of heightened tensions between the countries.
The rivalry with the United States is one that's decades and decades old in sport, and yet I think there's a little bit more riding on it.
That rivalry most anticipated on the ice, where it will be a monumental year for hockey, marking the return of NHL players in the men's tournament for the first time since 2014. Combine that with the first winter game since the Professional Women's Hockey League launched, putting a spotlight on an extraordinary depth of international talent.
This is an immensely talented team, and they're in their final preparations. And very soon, we will see them walking into opening ceremonies to show the world just what Canadian excellence looks like.
While Team Canada battles injuries, Finland is dealing with illness. The two countries were supposed to face off today in women's hockey, but the game was postponed as the Finns battle the norovirus. Team Canada's first game will now be against Switzerland on Saturday. Heather Butts, CTV News, Milan.
All right, we'll have more coming up in just a few minutes. First, let's check in once again with Ashley.
Well, we're waking up to more advisories for blowing snow through most of southwestern Ontario. Details on when that's all going to start and what tomorrow morning will look like coming up. Stay with us. A great TV lineup ahead with E-Talk at 7, followed by Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. Next Level Chef at 8, followed by Celebrity, Wheel of Fortune, and then back-to-back Big Bang Theory.
Tonight, Toronto police rocked by a sweeping investigation.
This is a painful and unsettling moment.
The arrests and allegations connected to corruption and organized crime. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Sarge with Bounce 99.5's 4K Double Play.
We're giving away $4,000 for 2 songs back to back.
Listen weekdays 6A to 6P for back-to-back songs from the artist of the day.
Then go to bounce995.ca for your chance to win.
And it's time for a look at our wake-up weather for Friday, which
Yes.
is going to bring us, well, a bit of a dicey day, possibly.
It's going to be a wintry, weathery day, which we have done so much this year so far, so we should all be well and truly prepared for it. Let's take a look at the advisory board. Environment Canada issuing this just before we went to air tonight at 6. Blowing snow advisory for essentially most of southern Ontario. 4 to 8 centimeters is expected. There is a little outlined area there just west of London. That is going to potentially see around 15 centimeters of snow along the shoreline there. Of course, with that causes reduced visibility. So if you are out on the roads, do make sure to take your time and be careful. Of course, that is starting Friday and is expected to go into early Saturday morning. Tomorrow, here in Waterloo region, we can expect scattered flurries throughout the day, waking up to around -10 by 10 a.m., -7. So the good news is it's not going to be as cold as it has been over the last few weeks. We've started to see a balance in temperature. The bad news is, of course, it might be a little bit of a messy commute to and from school and work tomorrow.
Yes, keep that in mind, of course, for sure, and we'll be here to update you as well.
Absolutely.
But before we go, wanted to touch on the Winter Games getting
Very
underway.
exciting.
Big opening ceremony tomorrow.
Very exciting. I mean, of course, we're all cheering on our athletes, and lots of news with the the women's hockey team moving their first match with Finland over to the 12th, and of course, Seth Jarvis now announced for the men's hockey team. So good, congratulations there.
You've always got all my sports notes when it comes to
Just hockey.
I love it. Back here at 11:30. Have a good night.